How's it going, everyone? This is Mustard here, and today I have another hardware video for you. As you know by now, Ketchup and myself are both sponsored by Smash Esports, the esports team, as content creators, and with that does come some opportunities to try out new pieces of hardware. And that's what leads us to today's video. Thanks to the folks over at MSI, I have been able to get my hands on the Optix Mag251RX 240Hz monitor, which has been a new experience for me. I haven't really tried with anything above the kind of usual standard kind of gaming monitors until now, so I wasn't really quite ready for how much of a difference it made. So I thought I'd put this video together and give you kind of like a first impression of my experiences trying out this monitor and what it's meant for my general gaming. So let's check out the monitor and see what it does. So just before we start, as a disclaimer, I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to the high-end monitors and exactly kind of the real minute details. But that's why I wanted to make this video and kind of make it more of a kind of genuine first impressions. I haven't really looked at kind of 144Hz or in this case 240Hz monitors in the past. So to me, this was a bit of an eye-opening experience. I know I'm quite late to the party when it comes to this sort of thing, but as someone that has predominantly kind of built their hardware over fighting games above all else, to go for this kind of upgrade has been a really enjoyable experience for me. To see games that I would have, maybe I've played them for years, or sometimes the newer games, different genres, being so much more precise and responsive. I do hope I can get that across in this video, because by far that's been the biggest difference and the thing I've enjoyed the most about it. So let's talk about the specifics of exactly what this monitor does. So I will show you on the screen now everything this monitor boasts in terms of features on paper, but to save me kind of just reading them off as a list, I'm going to highlight the ones that have been the most relevant to me and the things that I've enjoyed the most. To start off, really, the frameless design has been nice. I tend to be quite finicky about the visuals of my setup, and the fact that what you see is what you get. It's very easy to kind of fit this into your setup. It's very sleek, it's very pleasant looking, and I like that a lot. But more importantly, the fact that it's 240Hz has by far been the biggest benefit to me. Normally in fighting games, 240Hz isn't, to be honest, as important as you would expect in other genres, but as I play a lot of games that aren't just fighting games, whether it's an FPS, whether it's, RPG, anything that is very much kind of like visual, there's a lot of particle effects, it's very busy, that 240Hz makes a very noticeable difference. But the biggest thing for sure, the response time. 1 ms response time, which is pretty much minimal input delay, if any at all. That's super important. If you're a competitive player in anything, or you just take PvP very seriously, as minimal of an input delay as you can get is super important, and that has been very good here. And as well as that, physically on the back of the monitor, you have this red tab, which basically gives you all of your monitor features there and then. If you change a lot of these features on the fly, whether it's like, blue light filters or brightness, anything like that, whether you're changing the game mode, so based on whatever kind of game you're playing, some of these might be a little bit more appropriate. The fact that that is like, there's no buttons on the monitor for that, it's just kind of one size fits all tab that's very easy to navigate. Doesn't sound like a big difference, but that's been really good for me. So that's been very much appreciated. Now, if you want any more kind of detailed list about this, I will provide the link to the website where you can check the Optix Mag251RX overview, and everything is there in greater detail. But these were the ones that I noticed the best for me, and the ones that were the greatest for my personal experience. So I'm going to do my best to show you some gameplay now, and whilst I will obviously be showing you some MK11 with this monitor, I want to kind of preface this by saying this is the monitor that I have been using for my live stream content, which I know a lot of you do tune into the Twitch as well, and this has been able to produce the quality that you've been seeing right now. So I have been streaming in 1080p 60 FPS at like a 6K bitrate for a while, and this monitor has more than been able to facilitate that for my own experience as well. But I feel like we can showcase it a bit better in terms of just Mortal Kombat. So I'll show you some Mortal Kombat 11, and then I will show you another game I've been playing right now, Vermintide 2. Some of you guys, it's not as well known as Mortal Kombat, but it is a very busy and very visually impressive game, and there's a lot going on, a lot of particle effects, a lot of stuff, and I think that'll be a really good way to showcase the monitor in motion. So let's get to looking at some of the gameplay now. So first off, here is the Mortal Kombat footage. This is basically just going to be a small showcase of just me versus some random AI, just because it doesn't really matter if it's a real match or not. The most important thing is just that it's moving, right? Now, fighting games can be a little bit finicky with 240Hz. Some of them aren't as well optimized as others, and obviously it's a lot more dependent on your kind of individual PC. But for MK11, it does look gorgeous on 240Hz. That's what I run on for the sake of this video. And because of just the sheer amount of things like crushing blows, fatal blows, all the cinematics, it does end up looking really crispy. And then PC's features to have like 60 FPS cinematics just makes it look that little bit nicer on top of everything else. So all in all, very impressed.
Fatality.
Now, Vermintide 2, I'm not going to talk about the game as much because it's not the point in the video, but it is a 4-player survival co-op game. Very hectic, especially on PC with a lot of options. Can be very busy visually. You know, it's very fast-paced. There's a lot of models and particles on the screen at any one time. So I've just got a couple of highlights here of like kind of big group fights or anything like that, just to showcase fully in motion. I do understand that I am basically just pointing a video camera at the monitor, so it won't be like flawless quality for what the footage actually looks like, but I hope that you're at least able to see just how it isn't dipping constantly in quality or FPS. It does manage to maintain itself throughout the entirety of these very busy fights, and you know, if it's going to work for a game like this, it's going to work for just about anything you might think, right? It can handle it very well. In conclusion, I've gotten on really well with the Mag251. Like I said, this is the first time I've had a monitor that's even been close to capable of 240Hz, and I've got to say the results have been impressive, whether I'm playing fighting games or nowadays a lot of variety stuff, whether it's for the Twitch or the YouTube, or even on my own kind of personal time that I'll be spending playing games, because I do play a lot of games. Having a monitor that is capable of looking as crisp and clear as this can because of the 240Hz, it really has been an eye-opener, and I'm having a ton of fun with it, especially now, you know, next gen consoles do have that kind of built-in support as we go up towards, you know, like 4K and the support for these kind of hertz. It's really nice to have that capability. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and again, I would like to give a huge thank you to Smash Esports and MSI for sending this monitor my way. I'm looking forward to using it more, especially as there are some really good games coming out in 2021 that I am personally very excited for. I hope if you're looking to upgrade, you do give the Mag251 a look, because I've definitely enjoyed it, and I'm sure you would as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Happy New Year and all that. Peace out.